Hey, all of you magical people. I'm Lisa, the Holistic Groomer, Reiki Master, and Animal Communicator with video number 2 in my Energy Healing series. Now, I'm making this video in response to 2 questions that I got just this morning from 2 different people, so I figured there must be many more of you out there with the same question, and I'd better make a video. And that question is, how do things like energy healing, such as Reiki, animal communication, and card reading really work, and are there only certain gifted people who can perform these things? The answer to the second part of that is an unequivocal no. Each of you has the abilities that anyone else has, so there are not just special people out there who can do this work. Your current ability level, however, depends on how open-minded you are regarding the subtle realm, how aligned your chakras are, and how your subconscious mind has been programmed since, birth, since you landed here on this planet. Splat. So this morning while I was walking through the fields with my dogs, I took some notes on my phone, and I just want you to listen to these words and let this sink in. So I'm going to be discussing attunements and, what they are, and do you really need them, and the key elements involved in this work, okay? So, number 1, attunements. An attunement is a process of aligning yourself with certain energies or higher frequencies or spiritual states that will open and activate your own energy channels. You typically receive attunements from healers who have been attuned themselves, but you can also become attuned naturally through meditation, mystical experiences, or other spiritual growth practices. But receiving an attunement, whether you do it yourself or through someone else, is an amazing jump starter, especially for people who aren't sure about their abilities yet. Because when you receive an attunement, when you become attuned, it will convince you that you can do this work, because you're going to feel a shift in your energy, which will empower you with new confidence. So while you don't need to receive an attunement from a teacher or other healer, it's probably the fastest and surest way of doing it. It's, so I highly recommend it. In fact, if your intentions are sincere and your desire is strong, yes, you can attune yourself, and you can start right now, simply by saying a prayer, by asking for the ability to heal others, asking for the universal healing energy to flow through you every time you focus on it. Or maybe you want to ask that it start flowing every time you think of a certain word or recite a certain word or phrase. When I was originally attuned to Reiki 1, I was told to simply quiet my mind, focus on the task, on, performing Reiki, and saying Reiki on. And that's all it took. That's how simple it is. But it only happens if you open your channel, okay? You got to turn it on. You got to turn on the ability. And that's what receiving an attunement from another will do for you, if you don't think you can do it yourself, all right? If you don't believe that, all right? So how do you turn on? How do you turn on this ability? How do you open your channel? It all starts with belief. Everything starts with belief. You have to believe in life force energy and the healing ability that you have, that is your birthright. I mean, Buddha and Jesus, just to pull 2, healers, famous healers out of the air, right? They both did it, and they both tried to tell us that we could do it too. So what are the 2 key elements involved in this work? They are focus and intention. So important. Focus is simply thoughts that are aligned with purpose. If you really want to make a difference, you have to connect your thoughts to your purpose and keep them there. Oh my God, there are so many famous people, Albert Einstein and so many others who said, genius is just the ability to focus. And it really is. So I don't want to hear you say to yourself ever again that you can't do this because you have ADD or ADHD. To me, I'm sorry, that so-called disease is just a product of our times. It's just a lazy mind that's been created or made worse by the internet and social media surfing. And now even on YouTube we have shorts. Like, people can't even focus for more than 30 seconds, so they're looking for videos that are only less than a minute or whatever. But you know what? That's not doing you any favors. Bombarding yourself with too much information and only focusing on anything for less than a minute is not going to benefit your cause. So you can make the decision right now. I mean, your life is what you make it. It's you create your life, right? So you can make a decision now to take your power back and start telling your mind to focus, telling yourself that yes, you can focus. And every time your mind wanders, just don't fight with it. Don't get mad at yourself. It's normal, right? Just bring it back. Just let it go. Let those little thoughts go and just keep bringing yourself back to where you are. Hocus pocus focus. All right, there, I just fixed you. Okay, intention. Intention is all about your desire and being aware of your thoughts. Intending that what you desire will happen along with your focus will make it so. It is your objective, your aim that guides your action. That's what intention is. Intention comes first, and then you focus to stay there. So if you can meditate, you've already learned the skill. And please, just like the ADD thing, please stop telling yourself that you can't meditate. Because if you understand the law of attraction, telling yourself something over and over makes it your reality. As simple as that. So start telling yourself a new story. That's it. Start rewriting your story. Your life is your story. You've been writing it, and you can rewrite it. You can edit it anytime you want. So start telling yourself a story that says, yeah, you know what? I can meditate. I'm on the way to becoming a meditator. I can learn this. Anyone can do it, so why not me? I really want to relax and connect to my soul, my higher self, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. Just start telling yourself that, right? That's what affirmations are all about. Just constantly telling yourself a new story, or hearing it until you reprogram that subconscious. And speaking of law of attraction, it's now known that we attract what we love because of the strong emotion involved, right? We also attract what we fear. Again, strong emotion. And we also attract what we think about regularly, day in, day out, over and over and over. Even if there's not a lot of emotion attached to those thoughts, you will attract that, right? And your thoughts are just habit. So if you keep saying, oh, I must be possessed, or I have an attachment, or whatever, I gotta cut a cord, because I constantly have these negative thoughts, they're just a bad habit. Yes, you can change them. All right, so now you can start today. Start today by committing yourself to 1 minute. Just 1 minute, one little minute. That's 60 seconds. I was gonna say 30, but no, I think it's 60. To closing your eyes and performing deep breathing for 1 minute. Start committing to doing that twice a day and see what happens. Florence Scovel Shinn called it entering the silence. I love her, by the way. You want to find that quiet little voice inside yourself that you typically can't hear over the roar of your logical mind or left brain. You can think of the subtle voice as coming from your heart, and the logical voice, the left brain voice, your everyday voice, as coming from your head, right? That might help you to see it more clearly. Also, you want to hone in on your subtle senses. You want to start by blocking as many of your physical senses as possible, right? In order to hone in on the subtle senses, you need to, in the beginning anyway, block as many physical senses as possible. So that's why you close your eyes, right? Because that blocks out visual, your sense of sight, right? But you would probably also do well to block out sound. So I still, to this day, use earbuds or headphones. And I listen to Reiki music, meditation music, solfeggio tones like alpha or theta music, something with no words and no subliminal messages. You want to do that while you're entering the silence, while you're working on this, building this skill, this meditation skill, this skill of being able to go inside and focus and stay there to do healing work or animal communication work. Because that will block out sounds then. So now you're blocking out visuals and sounds, and now that will really help you to go inside. Okay? So lastly, I'd like to mention that if you don't think you can heal another because you yourself aren't perfect and need healing first, know that by healing another, you will actually heal yourself. And it can be even stronger and more effective than trying to work on your own healing. In the same way that trying to perform card reading for yourself can be very difficult. And people found, along the way that if they find someone else with a similar problem that they have and read cards for them, then they get the answer very easily. Or even if you lay cards pretending that you're reading for someone else, you make somebody up, and really see it that way and focus on some imaginary person or a real person, but just, give them the issue and then draw the cards. You'll have better luck, than if you try to draw cards for yourself regarding a question that you have a lot of emotion about, All right, so now go and practice and do it for 21 consecutive days. So that 1 minute of entering the silence, I want you to commit to that twice a day and do it for at least 21 consecutive days. Because the new studies being done on the science of habit say that reprogramming your mind, your subconscious mind, to form a new habit will take from 18 to 254 days. All right, depends on how ingrained the habit is or how much crap you got in your subconscious that you have to get rid of. So if you can commit to at least 21 days, you'll either make a permanent change or you'll be well on your way to making one. So start there. All right, baby steps, baby steps. You gotta start with step 1 or you're never gonna get there. So to help you out, I just searched for a simple meditation video. I just did a search on meditation for people who can't meditate, and I found a great video. I mean, I love this video, and I think it's only 4 minutes long. And I also did a search for a video on how to attune yourself for Reiki, but it can be for anything, I guess, any kind of energy work. And I found a great video on that too. And that's another short video. So I'm linking them in the description box below. Okay? So if you hung out this long, wow, 13 minutes. There you go. See how you focused for that long. Good for you. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.